about this year's bootcamp, I was looking for the best person that will come and speak to us, because when we're having our bootcamp, we don't just look at popularity, who everybody knows and all of that. That's good, but we look at someone who exemplifies what Menisu stand for, right? Especially in our 4 main areas of focus: faith, family, finance, and fitness, right? So we look for somebody who is a good example, of a man of faith, someone who is successful financially, someone who leads his home, his family. And when you start hearing from Mr. Ken, you know that he's someone who loves his family, who leads his family. As a matter of fact, when we're coming, as I forgot something at home I needed to bring. And when I just stepped out, I was at the junction. Coincidentally, I met him, he was already coming. And I told him I was going to pick. I forgot something. And he said he'll take me home. He took me home. And he's just coming from travel. He works in Delta State. He just came from Delta, dropped his bag, just said hi to his family quickly, and started coming here. And first of all, that is a lot of sacrifice, which I would need to appreciate. And then meeting me on the way, and still wanting to take me home so that the journey will be fast and all of that. But the reason why I said that is while I was in his car, I was just driving, everything that he said that we've talked about already, it's it's already a full course, for class for men. We have talked about faith, we have talked about family. And don't worry, you're going to hear directly from him. So I just want to say thank you very much, sir. And did I mention, okay, I think I put it on the group, but let me mention it here. Dr. Kenneth paid for this apartment for us. Completely. Thank you very much, sir. And so we are very grateful that we thank God for putting him in our hearts to bring him here. We're grateful that he wholeheartedly accepted the invitation, and he's here to fellowship with us for a few minutes before we allow him go back to his family. He's going to have a full session, but he's going to greet us. But before I bring him in, I just wanted to talk a little about Menisu. So I'm sure a few persons have talked about Menisu. So for the sake of those who are here for the first time, I'll just talk about how we started. A lot of us started with us, people like my brother Philip Gideon, Confidence, Casting. These are the founding fathers, Benefit. Yeah. And some other persons that are on their way, some people on their way, they went to work, they are coming, they'll be here. We still expected like 5 more persons. I'm strong. Those ones are the founding fathers of the Men in Vision. So in 2024, I just wanted to do something. Because every time I do my birthday, I like to organize something. I like to find something to do as a way of giving back, as a way of inspiring my world, my friends. And in the place of prayer, as I was praying one time, God just puts the word men in suits in my heart, and inspired my heart to organize men, friends, young people, who would come together and we'll just talk about life. We'll find a way to encourage ourselves, build capacity and all of that. So when I got the word men in suit, I know the suit was supposed to be an acronym, but I didn't know what the full acronym should be. Later on, I started finding meaning to each of them. Saved, because I wanted it to be a gathering of Christians, people who love God, right? Saved. At that time, it was unmarried. The U was unmarried. Yes. Yes. The I was, it was one of those that made us change it. Yes. U was unmarried. I was intentional. And then I was stuck with T. I didn't know what T should be. So when I started asking questions, and somebody said, maybe T should be thriving. Right? That's how we brought the whole word together. And then I put it out there, and people saw it, they loved it. The number of persons that, because we always put a limit of 20 persons. For now, it's not always going to be like that for some reason. For the first time, there was also the limit of 20 persons. We had more than 20 persons who wanted to register. But I think we only accepted like 22 persons. And after that, there were still persons who wanted to register. We couldn't accept because the venue we're going to use was not so big. We didn't want to overpack the place. So we came and we had good time. We had conversations. And when we started talking, we didn't want to stop. I'm not sure we used this card. Huh? No, don't worry. I'll use that tomorrow. The first day we had it. We had it. We couldn't use it because the conversation was just so much. We couldn't use this. It was in the bootcamp we started using the card. Conversation was so much. Time was not enough. So when we saw that time was going, it was getting late. People needed to go home, and we didn't even touch half of what we needed to touch. That was when we knew that we needed to come back again. And then some people said, this cannot be the end. We need to gather. We need to have another gathering. This time, it cannot be 3 hours or 4 hours. That's how we came about the idea of the boot camp. And as at then, he had already proposed, and he was already getting ready to marry. So he said, this one we put on marriage. By the time he gets married, he still needs to be part of this thing. I think, what's his name? Francis was also getting ready to marry. There were a few persons who were getting to marry at that time. And so we thought about it that it cannot be restricted to unmarried people. We need married people in the house. So that's how we said, oh, don't worry, before then we'll change. That's how we changed it to unconventional men. And thank God today we have married people. We have him here, he's married. We have Destiny. Destiny is married for like 3 years now. We have Mr. Ezekiel. Ezekiel is married for like 5 years. 5 years now. Senior man in the house. Yeah. We have Francis is married. Francis will be here tomorrow. Francis has an engagement. Can't come today. But we're also expecting Idausa David. Yeah, Idausa David is married. All these married people. I called him just now. He went to greet his wife first from work. He had to go greet his wife before coming. So he's on his way. He'll be here. Actually, there are other persons that are coming. So that's how we changed the name from Married to Unconventional. And we had our first bootcamp. Our first bootcamp was amazing. We used this place. We love this place, right? Yeah. We use this place. We wanted to have this years on. I was trying to look for another place, but I couldn't get a place as big as this. That the living room is as big as this and as fine as this. Sometimes it's either the place is good, but they have too many apartments, and other people will be using it and that noise. I love this serenity. It's more like we are the only one in this compound. So that's why we decided to come here again, and it's a good choice. So we enjoyed the last boot camp. We had Reverend Ben in the last one. He was our special guest. It was an awesome time. His teaching was amazing. We had time to pray. And here we are. So I just want to encourage us. I've said some things on the group chat already just to prepare our hearts. One thing I like to say is one of my first jobs is to bring everybody here. That's one of my major jobs. Every other thing that happens here, it's also dependent on you. Right? How you are willing to open up, how you are willing to engage. This night, apart from Dr. Kenneth, who is just here to fellowship with us briefly and just talk to us, this night is for us to talk to ourselves. It's for us to learn, among ourselves. Yeah, we're going to have time here. Some of the married people is going to tell us their story, the story behind being married. Okay, sir. We're going to hear from them. I'm expecting Caleb. Caleb is also going to come. Caleb is going to steer the conversation on finance this night. And we're going to have time to pray also. This night is the night where we usually spend time, to pray at the middle of the night. That's the last thing we do before sleeping. We have our card here. We usually play this card game where you come, pick a card, and you sit here, pick a card, and answer whatever the card asks you. ask you to answer. Yes, whatever you pick, that's what you answer. It's always very, very interesting. Please, when you pick the card, open your mouth, speak to people. So the question actually encompasses on faith, finance, fitness, and family. Answers the question. You are free to also ask the person question. You are free to also share from what the person has said. So that's what we'll be doing this evening. I was talking about a post. I think most of us must have seen it, that Pastor Kingston Okonkwo posted that we are gradually losing quality men. Gradually losing losing quality men. It's becoming, shall I call it a pandemic? And he said that very soon, women will not see quality men. So, because a lot of people think that being a quality man is having money. Yeah, that's one of the biggest goal of a lot of men. Money. Just have money. Once you have money, you are good. But at least we have seen a lot of people who have money, who have power, that does not know what it means to lead. That should not be strange to us in Edo State. Right? We have seen a lot of people. So, a lot of men have substituted leading their family to providing. A lot of people that think that if you can provide for your family, that's all. And sometimes you wouldn't blame them, because it's still because of the challenge that we have in the society, the economic condition of the country. So if you gain financial stability in your mind, you have arrived as a man. But we're going to be learning here that that's not all it takes to be a man. That is why Men in Suits has 4 pillars: faith, family, finance, and fitness. Some men, in pursuit of financial stability, they sacrifice their health. Some men, in pursuit of financial stability, they sacrifice their family. We see a lot of our billionaires, very wealthy, but they are unable to manage their home. It's a problem. Look around most of the most wealthy people around. But I believe strongly that we can really build that balance. We can build that balance. We can find a way to be very wealthy, still be a man of faith. We also have the extreme part where we have men who are very spiritual. They lead their family in the way of the Lord, but they don't know anything about finance and health. It's not also a good thing. It's not a good thing that you're a spiritual person and you are impoverished. It's not a good thing that you're a spiritual person and you cannot provide for your family. It's not. We should be able to find a balance in all of this. We should be able to lead our family effectively, lead our wife, lead our children. When you listen to women talk nowadays, I've had cause to have conversations with women. One of the things I keep hearing women complain about is that they complain about men leading. That they don't have men, that they're always struggling with men leading. That most of the guys that they meet, they don't know what it takes to actually lead them. These are some of the things, these are some of the issues that, we should begin to talk about and begin to provide solution to all of this. And this is what Men in Suit is all about. And when we come like this, when we have a boot camp like this, we try as much as possible to touch these different areas of life. Not just from our guests that will be speaking, but also from each and every one of us. So I want to crave our indulgence, everybody, that as this session begins, let's open up. When we had our first engagement, I think we told everybody to put suit. Almost everybody put on suit. That apart from a few persons, people like Dr. Eddie, I remember that he said that he would rather vote for Bebolo than for... They would rather vote for Bebolo. Unfortunately, the Bebolo still win last. They would rather vote for Bebolo than for him to wear suit. So yes, we encourage us to be on suit. I think I also encourage us this time, and I hope many of us did come with suit for tomorrow. For today, it can be, today we're just relaxing. But I hope all of us, if not all of us, a lot of us came with suit. Yeah, it helps to give that picture of, although Men in Suit does not literally mean men in suit. We already know what the suit stands for. But I think it's a beautiful thing if when we gather like this, in some of our gathering, or most of our gathering, we just be on suit. It's a good thing. I sent a message yesterday. Tomorrow morning, I will expect a lot of us to just be on suit. I trust. I know many persons, but I know that there will still be some persons. Yes.
there are times or there are occasions like this that occur. Most of us might have been to one or two events like this before, where we are motivated at that very instant. Yeah, you see the fire that week. You say, this one, especially when the speaker is very good. So they want that week we want to do everything that we are supposed to do.
Initial gaga.
So, but as time goes on, you see that
momentum.
Yeah, drops. So I don't know if there are measures from the menus, because I believe that we are creating a strong network here. Yeah. What I've come to understand lately is that man cannot do life.
Yeah.
Not for the married people, not the wife. As men, so yeah. So I don't know if there are measures.
And when you are saying my brother, more than to look only and see 2 of them, now 2 of them sit down here. Say go pepper us. So let's return the energy first.
So I don't know if there are measures that we can put in play or let this community. I don't know if we are still in connection with the persons who were here last year. I don't know. So,
yes.
I don't know if we can put in place like a stronger network where we can do. I don't know if I will see a follow up to see if these persons who caught that fire that moment they are still in line with it. So I don't know if we can check on some of our people to know that okay, they are still doing this the things that they said that they set to do after the event. So it's not just be that once we have the men in suits this year, then for that 1 month we are all going again till next year again. So we should meet next year better than we met this year. So that's it.
But then, responding to what you said, for those who have been part of training, one of the reasons why I'm still very interested in it is, if you know me, I don't deal with motivation.
Yeah.
Because after that moment, there's something called Kairos moment.
Yeah.
So that moment when you get at it, when you don't start, there's also called in project management, there's something called 72-hour rule. Many institutes are not a place to get motivated. It's a place where we build discipline. Because discipline trumps motivation. And I think if we as men rely on motivation,
go ahead.
It's very difficult for us. So motivation is not why you are here. If you are here because you want to be motivated, if you search on YouTube, you get videos that can hold you responsible in the following year if nothing that you said is being done. And it helped me. I remember 2020. Since 2020, I was planning to buy a car. I went to buy my car 2020, and I started saving for it. I ate the money. But December 2020, we had that call, and I told them 2021 I'm going to buy my car. April we had a follow-up call, like you mentioned, follow-up. How far, So when that call, I already started saving for it, but when that call came in, before we got on that call, I was already having something else to do with the money I already saved. But when that call came, the next day I went to deposit for the car. So you see, it's not motivation now, but because we are all here together, like you said, we are all one here. We not come here to, shield anybody or rubbish anybody's goal. We are here to grow. You are here. It's not. You are not here because you want to come and show us that you can be here or you can pay to be here, or your bed is not comfortable for you. You are here because you want to grow. You get so. In as much as you have chosen to be here, you don't need anybody to motivate you, because I don't think you call anybody to start convincing the person you need to be men in suit and all of that. So because it doesn't have a cost to sell to you.
Yeah.
Most persons who tend to motivate you at the end of the day
have a cost. We make us start the same cost.
So for M&E, that's also what I wanted to talk about, because I am somebody who I'm keen on sustainability.
Yeah.
The theme for my event is beyond delivery. That event came about. I've been a project manager for a while, and I've worked in different sectors apart from oil and gas. I've worked in almost all the sectors, and there's one problem that revolves around all the sectors. There is no sustainability. There are project interventions here and there. I mean, Obaseki did his own. I'm using now.
Yeah.
So everybody's trying to bring up their own. Nobody's sustaining it. after project 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the line, you can't even remember that that project was done. I remember we built a library. Who's from AU here?
Nobody.
We built a library in AU. Every time I drive past that library, I get so angry. Because when we were building that library, we almost had an accident from building here. So that library is not being utilized. And AU, that's a very good example of, So that's how we come up with beyond delivery. So projects have to move beyond delivery. So that's the question I want to ask Mr. Benjamin. What is the plan? I'm an M&E person. I'm crazy about M&E. I'm crazy about monitoring and evaluation. We have to evaluate where we're coming from, because that tends to help you figure out how close you are to your goal, how close to where you want to go. So let's hear from you, sir.
The vision is to build a community of men that will support each other, basically. It will be a community where we would always learn, right? Learn is one of the key things. To also be a community where it will be a safe space for men to talk about the things that affect them. Because we realize that in the society, I've met a lot of persons that have told me, men in school will never say anything like this. Always sing for women, women always meeting, women always helping themselves, but there's no support forum. So basically, that's what we're trying to do, a support forum. So the question is, how do we make this? So when we're taking out sustainability, M&E, we started talking about the possibility of having this gathering more often. Right, so that when we have a discussion for example, we are meeting this boot camp, we have a discussion here, people leave here making a decision on what to do. Over time, the energy drops as it goes. So if we find a way to come in between, just like the community you talked about, that sometimes you set goal and then within a period of time you begin to have calls. So if we can have, we're planning to have more community engagements, basically, so that it will not just be once in a year that we meet. We did just a little here and there last year. I think William went to Lagos. We also did a personal development for those that were interested last year. We did a personal development challenge for men that needed it. In 1 month, it was a full month, a personal development challenge. We also had a session in Lagos. So we didn't really do much last year. So for this year, we're planning to have more engagements, more like a quarterly engagement, so that whatever we say in this meeting, we can remind ourselves when we come again. And one of the things that quarterly engagement meeting would do is, for boot camp like this, we try to touch the whole area: faith, family, finance, and fitness. But when we start doing our quarterly engagement, each of the engagement will be focused on one of the pillars. Right? So we can have 4 engagements for the year. First engagement will be focused on family, and when we come, it's just family issue that we're going to address. We're going to talk about finance. Then there's going to be another engagement where it will now be finance. Then another engagement where it will just be health. So for now, the actual plan that we have, which I intend to discuss with everyone, because for those engagements, everybody is going to drive it. Our quarterly engagement, it will be our responsibility. It's not like this one that I organize and I send to everybody. We are going to decide how it's going to go, how we are going to do it. But I already have some plan drawn up. I'd love to share with you so that we can refine it, right? We can start refining it here and now. Then in the full house tomorrow, we can communicate it to others. One of the things that we're planning to do is to meet again in the month of March. As like 2 months, March or April, at the end of March or April, is to gather again. But this time, it's going to be our focus is going to be on family. But this time around, the trick is this: we are planning that for our April engagement, it is not just going to be guys. That will be one of the engagements that will allow females to come in. But this is the trick: it is the guys that will bring the female that will come. So those that are married, come with their wife. Those that are dating, come with their fiancé. Right? They are single, you must come with somebody. This is me sharing the idea, so I would love to hear from everybody. Yep. So it's still going to be a men's gathering. It's not a relationship summit.
Women are strangers.
Yeah. The garden is for men. It's still men. Still a men's event. But you are bringing a female because we want to hear a female's perspective about a man's life.